With growing up comes new responsibilities. So you want to play EverQuest again, but don't have as much time like you used to. I'm going to give two options. One for people who want reliable grouping, and the other for people who want a casual way to experience all content, including raiding. So option one, I would like to log on and reliably find groups. I would recommend Project 1999, specifically the youngest green server. P99 is an unofficial emulation server that is free to play on, but it does have approval to operate by Daybreak Games, so it will not get shut down. And what P99 does is it attempts to recreate the experience of playing EverQuest back in 1999, back in 2000, with the original Kunark and Velius timelines, with all the time-appropriate features and patches of that era. It's not perfect, but it is the closest recreation we have right now of early EverQuest. And because of this, P99 has a slow rate of progression through content, so its leveling and grouping scene tends to be very solid, even months and years past the actual prime of content. You can level up there, take a few months of a break, and then come back and you'll still be able to find groups, unlike the next option, which is a bit more time sensitive. To people that are EverQuest purists, they may enjoy P99 more than what the current official servers have become. However, I would discourage going to P99 for casual raiding. Due to several factors, it's just an incredible time sink to raid there. It is not conducive to real life commitments or even getting a healthy amount of sleep. And by no means am I discouraging raiding there. It's definitely fun. I had a lot of fun doing it myself. It's just not suited well for people who have busy lives. Option 2. So I'd like to be able to get to max level. I would like to be able to do all the raiding content, get geared up, and not have to sink as much time as on P99. So I would recommend time lock progression servers, or TLPs. So these are what I play on. So you'll hear Mangler, Thornblade, Mischief thrown around a lot. These are those types of servers. And the gist of them, so they're official servers that require a paid membership, usually like $10 to $15 a month. And Daybreak Games, the one who holds the IP for EverQuest, will usually release a new time lock progression server every year, every 2 years. And these servers will progress through all the expansions of EverQuest. The first up to, I think, the 27th as it is right now. And they usually have a set rate that they go through content. So one server was a 1 month unlock. It can go up to 3 months unlock like it is on Mangler. So this is how long it takes before another expansion is opened up. And these servers tend to have a huge influx of population during the original Kunark and Velius eras. For grouping, there are no hell levels. Experience requirements have been evened out with patches. The experience rate is also quicker than on P99, and it is especially fast during frequent bonus experience events around holidays. You can even buy quicker experience potions from the store, the Daybreak store. Some people in the community are actually able to go from 1 to 50 in a matter of 24 to 30 hours of just intense playing. And that's something that's not really possible on P99. Another benefit is that when the population is huge, the grouping scene is even more viable here on the TLPs than on Project 1999 because of one of the best features of these servers, called Pick Zone. So if a zone gets overcrowded on P99, there's only so many camps. So you usually have to ask to be put on a wait list to get into that group until there's an open spot. But on time lock progression servers, there's no need for wait lists because oftentimes when a grouping zone gets overcrowded, it'll spawn another pick, another empty instance of the zone, where people can move into there and get into open camps. No waiting at all. Also on these servers, you have the ability to play multiple characters. If desired, it's called boxing. So having an extra character can be a huge benefit. It can make it easier to form groups around what you got. Say if you're rolling a healer and a tank, all you need are some DPS and you're solid. And it helps you get stuff done when you can't find people to group with sometimes. The loot system is also, it looks really scary when you start out, but it is vastly better than the way it used to be done, of just right-clicking corpses and somehow figuring out where it's supposed to go. This advanced loot system is way better here. You will not want to go back. But if there's one major con of these time lock progression servers compared to P99, is that the grouping scene is very time sensitive. Past the Velius expansion, a lot of the population is at level cap, and all they do is exclusively raid log. So grouping is not as consistently abundant as on P99. So if a new TLP server drops, you only have maybe a 6 to 12 month window to get near level cap, or leveling is going to be an extraordinary pain. And also, these servers tend to have a huge wave of attrition in that year or two when a fresh TLP gets released. The Mangler server I started out on, you can hear crickets going on and you can see tangleweeds blowing through Plane of Knowledge. It's pretty bad. But the current Mischief and Thornblade servers are just popping, the newest servers. So you have the pick zone feature, which is a major benefit, and the second biggest benefit of going on these time lock progression servers is because of instanced raiding. Say you want to raid, what you should do is go onto the EverQuest forums and then find a guild on your server that schedules raids at a time that's very good for you. So my particular guild, they were based out of Pacific Standard, and every Wednesday and Thursday we start a raid at 8 p.m. and we go to midnight. And that's it. So we spin up an instance raid every single Wednesday and Thursday at that same time, and raid is over once we finish it. And you'll have this raid instance completely to yourself, so there's no shenanigans like you face in the open world when competing with other people. You'll have every single week you can do these raids, so you'll be able to get a lot more gear than you usually would have access to. It's a lot easier to get your epics done here, and all raids are available. If your guild is keyed, they have access to the zone, and they can defeat the mobs, you can do it. So if you never got to do certain raids back in Era or on P99, like say Vishan's Peak in Kunark or Sleeper's Tomb in Velius, you can do them here. And it's a lot more convenient. You can do them every single week here. That was a big reason why I left P99. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope this information helps out.